Hello, I am in Dorset. I'm in a little hamlet called Osmington Mills. Yeah, that's it, Osmington Mills, on the South Dorset coast. And the sea is back down there somewhere. You can't quite see it because this little hamlet's in a little bit of a valley, so you can't see anything. And I'm going to walk the South Dorset Ridgeway. Well, that was a steady old climb out of Osmington Mills. I'm now coming down the hill on the other side, coming into the village of Osmington. The South Dorset, I've got to get this right, the South Dorset Ridgeway is an about 18 mile path based on a very ancient trackway path. It's part of the South Coast path, and it's like an alternative route you can take if you're doing the South Coast path. If you fancy a break from walking along by the seaside, you can take this and it takes you on a little sort of alternative route. The reason I wanted to do it is because it is an ancient trackway, and there's quite a lot of history along the way. There's quite a few burial mounds, barrows I think I called them, and even coming up out of Osmington Mills there was one to my left, although it just looked like a lump in the ground really. It didn't look like anything very spectacular, but there's quite a few along this way. There's always people turn up when you're talking and I get a bit self-conscious. Anyway, as I was saying, there's quite a lot of history along the way. Neolithic and Bronze Age burial mounds, barrows. There's a stone circle somewhere, but I think it's a bit hard to find. And one or two other bits and pieces. There's some old Iron Age forts as well, but I don't know whether I'll get to see those. Anyway, it just looked like a really interesting walk, and a brilliant place to be, which I've never been before. It's the main road just over there into Osmington. So I think that's about it. That is my walk today. Let's see how we go. That chalk figure just in front of us is a representation of King George III, and originally it was carved out in 1808. Apparently he used to really like Weymouth and came here often, so I don't know if the locals decided to do it to kind of honour him. Anyway, my path goes up the side over there and up the top and behind him on the skyline. So I better get on with it. Now they're two pretty obvious burial mounds, or tumuli. I think there's a third one to the left and a bit flatter. I don't know, I think that's where they sort of used to bury their people. But I guess like churches, they put them up on high places so that people could see them. Or maybe it's to wherever they went when they died. So I kind of get it. I get sort of putting them up high, places like this, where they'd be pretty obvious. I've come to a little place called Bingham. I decided to stop and have my lunch. It's a quaint little place. Stopped at, well, I'm outside St Mary's Church, which is, yeah, very little. It's got quite an amazing organ. Yeah, quaint little church. Anyway, I think it's about 2 o'clock. I've still got a fair way to go, so I'm staying at a hotel tonight at, I can't remember the name of the village. I said I'd be there about 6:30, but I'm not sure I will. I think I'm going to be a bit late. Hope they keep in place for me. There's been a few pretty demanding steep uphills coming up out of the valleys. It's coming up out of where I had my lunch. But on the whole, it is a ridge walk, and you can understand why back in the days this was would have been the basis of a route of a track that the ancients would have used. It does really stick to ridge, which would have been I guess drier ground back in those days, you know, down in the valleys. I guess it would have been a bit more prone to get soggy and wet and overgrown, whereas if you came up here, slightly easier maybe. Stunning views though, absolutely stunning. It is, oh, it is mad countryside. I do love it. I think it's Wessex, isn't it? They call it. What's his name? Thomas Hardy country. You can understand why he loved it so much. Fantastic. I think I've been making pretty good progress, to be honest. A lot of it's trackway like this, so it's quite easy walking, which has been good. And it is on a ridge, you get views on both sides. Beautiful. And what I meant to say earlier was I've come across quite a few herds of calves with young cattle. Away. Some of them were very interested in my phone. This one's a bit more interesting. It's the first one I've seen that's got a ditch all around it. I wonder if it was somebody more important buried in this one, or some other great significance. Maybe it was a homestead. Who knows? Mysteries of the darkness of time, eh? There are so many of these mounds, hills, tumuli, cairns. I think it'd get a bit boring really if I keep videoing them all. Amazing that. It's amazing. Never seen so many. Getting nearer to Hardy's monument. So I made it to Hardy's monument, but it was just much too windy up there to talk. The monument's not to Thomas Hardy, the novelist, the writer. It's Captain Hardy, who was the captain of HMS Victory, that was Nelson's flagship in the Battle of Trafalgar. And that's the Hardy that Nelson's supposed to have said to in his last dying breath, kiss me Hardy. Although some people reckon it was Kismet Hardy. I suppose it's hard to tell. And all them cannons and guns going off and things like that. Easily misheard. But I've never heard anybody say whether they actually did kiss him or not. Anyway, interesting point maybe is after the battle they put Nelson's body in a barrel of rum to preserve it, to bring him home, so they could give him a hero's burial in London. And in fact he's entombed in St Paul's rather than burying him at sea. But it's a good job they buried him, isn't it, rather than cremated. If they had, he would have gone out with a bang. Anyway, as you can see, it's quite a big edifice. Just looks like a giant chimney, doesn't it, really? There you go. There's a bit of a climb getting up there. Anyway, come down into these woods, which are really pleasant. It's quite peaceful and it's a bit out of the wind. So I'm going to have a bit of a 5-minute break, and then I'm going to press on to Avebury, which I think is about 3, maybe 4 miles away. That's where I'm staying for the night. And then tomorrow morning I'll finish the Ridgeway off, which again is only probably another 3 or 4 miles. So yeah, chill out for a bit, then press on. About half a mile from Hardy's monument. You can see it just up there, look. There's this, which they call the Hellstone chamber. And it says on my map that it's been restored, so I don't know whether all the stones were on the ground once and they've put them all back up and replaced it. It's a bit out of the way, but here we are. Maybe that's what it looks like on the inside of some of those mounds. They're great stones like that, a chamber. We made it. Well, this is it. Don't go wild. It's definitely not any Stonehenge. There's a thing up there saying it is an ancient monument, so I guess it's original. I'll just put it. Still, it's a stone circle. We love stone circles. Look at that. So at this point I'm going to turn off of the Ridgeway. I'm going down over there, down to Avebury, which is just down in the valley. That's where I'm staying for the night. And then tomorrow morning I'll come back up to this point and carry on going that way, which is the rest of the Ridgeway. And according to that sign behind me, there's only about 3.5 miles to go. And then I finished it, done the whole thing. Well, this is it. This is my room for the night. Looks alright, doesn't it? Right, showers in the corner over there. View outside. So that's it. Gonna have a shower and then go down and have a pint and have some food. Good day, definitely good day. Good morning. Well, that was a pleasant enough stay at the Ilchester Arms. Food was nice. I thought while I'm in Avebury, I'll have a quick look at the Abbey ruins, wherever there is. It's a really nice little village. The road's surprisingly busy. Anyway, after I've had a look at the ruins, and head back up onto the Ridgeway. Well, there's not much of the Abbey left, just this bit of wall. And then down here is the ponds, the old fish ponds, and the tithe barn. That's where the monks used to get their rent from the locals, keep it stored. That's about all there is. Henry definitely made a good job of wrecking this one. There we are. You can just about see the sea through there. And there's a church up on the hill. Right, that's it. Back to the Ridgeway, up the hill. There's a little archway there, look. Right, it's exhausted that. That's where we're going, up there. That's it. I've made it back up onto the Ridgeway. Well, I left it yesterday. So, the signpost says it's 3.25 miles to Bexington, which is the end. It's quite misty up here this morning. Quite atmospheric. Morning, crew. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's really beautiful, isn't it? So, this is the ditch of the Iron Age fort. I'll go up to the top of it in a sec. This is the heart of the Iron Age fort. If you can hear that, this wind. down into West Bexington. A mile away. That's the end of the Ridgeway mark. That's it. I've made it to West Bexington. I think this is Chesil Beach. I think. You know what I'm like. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Yeah, it's been a very enjoyable walk. Like I said before, amazing landscape. Amazing. So yeah, now I'm going to walk along the coastline on the south coast path back to Weymouth, where I'm going to catch my train, and I'll probably make a short video of that. See you again. Take care.